Once upon a time, in a quaint town nestled amidst rolling hills, there was a renowned professor named Professor Benjamin. He was known for his wisdom and his ability to impart valuable life lessons to his students. Every year, on the last day of the semester, Professor Benjamin would gather his students beneath the shade of a great oak tree on the campus grounds to share an important message about life. On this particular day, the sun shone brightly as the students gathered around eagerly, waiting for Professor Benjamin to begin. The professor looked at the young faces before him, each filled with curiosity and anticipation. He smiled warmly and began his story. Once, in a faraway land, there was a village that relied on a single well for all its water needs. This well was known to be magical because it had the power to grant wishes. However, there was a catch. The well could only grant wishes to those who understood the true essence of life. The students exchanged glances, captivated by the professor's words. Professor Benjamin continued. One day, a young man named Peter decided to test the power of the well. He approached it and made a wish. "I wish to become the wealthiest person in the village." As Peter finished his wish, the well responded with a booming voice. "Your wish is granted, young man." Ecstatic, Peter returned to the village, only to realize that his newfound wealth had made him arrogant and selfish. He began to exploit the villagers, hoarding resources for himself and neglecting those in need. The village became divided, and happiness faded from the faces of its inhabitants. Professor Benjamin paused for a moment, letting the impact of the story sink in. Then he continued. In pursuit of material wealth, Peter had lost sight of the true meaning of life. The well did not grant him happiness, but rather, it exposed his character flaws. One student raised her hand and asked, "But Professor, what is the true essence of life?" The professor smiled and replied, "The true essence of life lies not in the accumulation of wealth or possessions, but in the relationships we build, the kindness we show to others, and the impact we make on the world. It's about finding joy and fulfillment in the simplest of things." He continued, "True happiness comes from acts of compassion, empathy, and love. It is about nurturing our connections with family, friends, and our community. Life is a beautiful tapestry, woven with the threads of these meaningful relationships." The students listened intently, absorbing every word. Professor Benjamin concluded, "Remember, my dear students, as you embark on your journey through life, focus on cultivating virtues like kindness, gratitude, and empathy. Use your knowledge and skills to make a positive difference in the lives of others. In doing so, you will find a richness that surpasses any material wealth." The students applauded and thanked Professor Benjamin for his insightful words. As they left the gathering, they carried the message deep within their hearts, vowing to live a life guided by compassion and love. And so, the story of Professor Benjamin's wise words spread far and wide, inspiring generations to come to embrace the true essence of life and make the world a better place. And thus, the legacy of Professor Benjamin lived on, not only through his students, but also through the countless lives they touched. The students carried his message of compassion and love, embodying the true essence of life in their actions and inspiring others to do the same. Years passed, and the students of Professor Benjamin became leaders in their respective fields, entrepreneurs, artists, doctors, teachers, and more. They applied the wisdom they had gained from their beloved professor to their work and personal lives, making a positive impact wherever they went. They created innovative solutions to societal problems, cared for the less fortunate, and spread kindness in their communities. They understood that true success was not measured solely by wealth or fame, but by the positive change they could bring to the world. The story of Professor Benjamin and his profound words continued to resonate, even beyond the boundaries of their quaint town. His teachings became the foundation of a movement, inspiring people from all walks of life to reconsider their values and prioritize compassion and love. Through the power of storytelling and the dedication of his students, Professor Benjamin's message reached far and wide. Books were written, speeches were given, and his philosophy became a guiding principle for many. The impact of Professor Benjamin's words was felt in schools, workplaces, and even within families. Parents passed on his teachings to their children, encouraging them to lead lives filled with kindness and empathy. The ripple effect of his wisdom continued to grow, shaping a world that valued human connection and the well-being of all its inhabitants. As time went on, the name of Professor Benjamin became synonymous with wisdom, and his story was shared with new generations eager to learn from his insights. The oak tree beneath which he had imparted his wisdom stood tall, a symbol of the enduring power of knowledge and the importance of passing it on. And so, the tale of Professor Benjamin and the true essence of life lived on, reminding us all that the greatest treasures in life cannot be measured by wealth or possessions, but by the love we share, the impact we make, and the connections we nurture.